Austin Energy Green Building rates houses that meet certain criteria. We have residential, single-family, residential, multifamily, and residential and commercial. And of those three programs, we divide it up. We have 20 people on staff, and different people handle different areas. And predominantly, the residential program is interested in the single-family homes that people live in Austin. And this is one of the homes that we will be rating in our program. Well, this home is pretty unique. We're attempting to do for the first time a 5-star rating on a historic residential remodel. And historic designation means that we have some areas we can give a little latitude, but we don't want to give too much latitude because we're trying to make this house as energy efficient as possible. In the background, the builders working on this home had to work with the neighborhood and follow the guidelines for the Historical Commission in Austin, and that itself is very hard. Then they have to match that with the Green Building Program rating, and it's designed for new home construction. So they're up against two areas that give them a little bit of consternation, and one is the people in the neighborhood, and the other is Green Building trying to rate a remodel against the houses that are built brand new. There are not that many historic homes going through this type of process, but the ones that choose to go more green are going to find certain areas that conflict with maybe the historic nature of the house, trying to make it as efficient as possible as a new house is built. So it's hard, but I think we're going to accomplish that in this particular home. Well, the windows we have replaced with the current technology of windows. So it has a very good solar heat gain coefficient, which means the sunlight is not going to have as much effect on the temperature inside the house as it would with just the windows that came out of here. So we're bringing it up not only to code, but we're far exceeding code as far as the windows. And so then you can reduce the size of the air conditioning. And that's also combined with the spray foam insulation that we've done under the house, in the walls, and in the roof system. So all of this has created a new thermal envelope we call the envelope of the house. Everything inside the exterior surfaces of this house is now within one thermal envelope. So that means the air conditioning system, the ductwork, can all work more efficiently, and it won't be heating up from the outside sunlight going through the shingles into the attic. It's just not going to have that because we've created a thermal envelope where all of these appliances can now work more efficiently. The actual cost for energy efficiency is hard to calculate because you can make a 5-star house, but if you're a 1-star occupant, it's going to change how much you pay for electricity. So even though we're building this as a 5-star house, if the new owner walks in here with a large screen plasma TV and then picks up a DVR and a VCR and telephones that have to plug into little chargers all the time. So every little load that adds on to this house, one, it creates heat, two, it creates electricity use. So you can have a 0-star house and have a 5-star lifestyle, or you can have a 5-star house and have a 0-star lifestyle. So we can't really tell you how much it's going to be saving. We can tell you that the house is capable of saving a whole lot of energy. Whether the people that live here can actually do that is up to them. This particular day, we were looking at mostly the insulation to see where it was installed underneath the house, then in the walls, and in the attic. So all of that has been inspected today. Well, this is a foam insulation job, which it kind of glued the house all together. This is an old house, but when you apply this foam to the inside surfaces of the exterior walls, it's now just made everything tight and sealed all the cracks and crevices. So you can't do that in any other insulation on a retrofit. So they sprayed this in. It went in every little nook and cranny, and it actually glued the house together now. So it's more of one structure rather than a bunch of different pieces. As part of that thermal envelope question, it allows us to test this house for leakage and That combined with the very good windows all leads us to think that the house isn't going to leak as much, because if you want to have air coming into the house, you want to know where it's coming from. So rather than have it just come through every little crack, then we're now going to bring air in if we want to open a window or have outside air coming in exactly where we want it to come in. Well, we're seeing a lot of gentrification, I guess you could say, and rebuilding of this neighborhood. And a lot of it's done with tearing down of the old houses or moving the old houses and replacing them with new construction, even on this street. In this particular case, we're combining that. We're saving the old house, we're adding a little bit onto it, and then making it as energy efficient as possible. The progress so far is they're going very well. Of course, we don't know until we reach the end whether we achieve our goal of a 5-star rating. That's the final inspection that will determine that. But we're on course to be able to rate it as a 5-star house. It's always exciting to see innovation. This is innovation and a good example of it. And so I'm excited to see an older neighborhood still have the ability to keep some of the houses, keep the look of some of the houses. We've added on a little bit of square feet to this to make it more livable. In reality, it's brought a house from the 1920s into the 21st century.